Hey everyone. Ever find yourself kind of staring at like a stack of wood or some sheets of metal, trying to figure out the best way to cut it all up without wasting anything?
Yeah, it's like a puzzle, isn't it?
Totally. And the stakes are pretty high too,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because any wasted material basically equals wasted money, wasted resources.
Definitely a challenge across a ton of industries.
Yeah,
Construction, furniture making, metal fabrication.
yeah, for sure.
The financial impact is huge, but then we also can't ignore all the environmental consequences of that
Right.
waste.
And that's where things get really interesting today. We are diving deep into the world of Alunex, a company that has basically like cracked the code on making cutting processes way more efficient.
Yeah.
And they've got these really cool tools, both 1D and 2D, that are designed to help you just squeeze every little bit of value out of your materials.
Yeah, Alunex is all about precision.
Hmm.
They really focus on industries where every millimeter matters, and their tools definitely reflect that. We're talking glass, metal, wood, textiles for 2D cutting optimization, and then rods, beams, tubes for their 1D system. No matter what you're cutting, they've pretty much got you covered.
So let's start with those 2D optimization tools.
Yeah.
What really struck me is how easy they are to use.
Yeah.
It's not like some super intimidating software that requires an engineering degree or anything.
Nope.
You can just upload your designs directly from, a CSV file or an Excel spreadsheet,
Mm-hmm.
or even just manually enter everything if you're working on a smaller project.
Absolutely. And speaking of avoiding those like frustrating mistakes,
Yeah.
Alunex has this great built-in data validation feature.
Oh, nice.
It's almost like having a second set of eyes, just double checking your measurements before you even think about making a cut.
Oh, that's awesome.
No more, realizing halfway through a project that, oh, shoot, I entered the wrong dimensions.
The worst.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's get to the heart of it. How does Alunex actually help you optimize your cuts and minimize waste? Like, what's the secret sauce?
Well, that's where their advanced optimization algorithm comes into play.
Okay.
It might sound kind of complicated, but just picture this.
Okay.
You've got a sheet of plywood,
Got it.
and you need to cut out a whole bunch of different shapes, right?
Yeah.
Let's say for a cabinet project.
Okay.
The algorithm acts like this, like a master puzzle solver. It figures out the absolute best way to arrange all those shapes on that plywood to use up the least amount of material possible.
So it's not just like randomly placing the shapes.
No.
It's really strategically fitting them all together like a jigsaw puzzle.
Exactly. And here's where it gets even cooler.
Okay.
Alunex also takes into account the kerf, which is basically the width of the cut itself.
Yeah.
So, different saw blades have different kerf widths, right?
Right.
So Alunex actually lets you input that specific information to ensure pinpoint accuracy.
Wow.
It's all about factoring in every little tiny detail to maximize efficiency.
Now, for those of us who are very visual, this next feature is going to be a game changer.
Oh.
The interactive preview. You can actually see the entire layout before you commit to making that first cut.
Yeah. It's like a dress rehearsal for your whole project. You can make adjustments, fine-tune that arrangement, and really just get a feel for how everything's going to come together.
That's amazing.
That visual representation is so powerful because it eliminates any guesswork and helps you avoid any of those costly mistakes.
Totally. And speaking of avoiding waste, what happens to those inevitable leftover pieces? Those kind of awkward shapes that are usually just considered scrap.
That's where Alunex's surplus material management system comes in.
Okay.
So picture this.
Right.
You're building a series of custom bookshelves.
Got it.
You've used Alunex to optimize all your cuts, but you are left with some of those oddly shaped pieces of wood.
Right.
Alunex is so smart that it actually assigns a unique ID to each leftover piece and adds it back into your inventory.
Oh, wow.
So then, when you're planning your next project, you can easily see if you've got a piece that already fits your needs.
Oh, that's so smart.
It may even, save you a trip to the lumberyard.
Yeah, that's what I call working smarter, not harder. But hold on, we've been talking a lot about 2D optimization, which is great for, those bigger projects. But I know Alunex also has a 1D tool. What's the deal with that?
The 1D optimization tool is specifically designed for linear materials.
Okay.
So things like rods, beams, tubes.
Got it.
Think about a construction project where you need to cut a whole bunch of steel beams to different lengths.
Yeah.
The 1D tool helps you do that with the least amount of waste possible.
So whether you're working with those large sheets of material or long pieces, Alunex has got a solution to help you optimize your cuts. But here's the thing that really blew me away. It's all cloud-based.
And that's where the real magic happens. Cloud-based software, It's becoming so common these days.
Yeah, it really is.
And for good reason. But
Yeah.
what does it actually mean for someone,
Yeah, broke it down for me.
using Alunex? Right.
How does being cloud-based actually solve, like, real-world problems?
Okay, so imagine you're a furniture maker, right?
Right.
And you're working with a designer, but they're in a totally different city.
Okay, yeah.
With Alunex, you can both access the same cutting plans at the same time.
Wow.
You can both update them. You see each other's changes instantly.
Oh, that's cool.
So you avoid any of that miscommunication,
Yeah.
And potentially, like, costly mistakes.
Right. No more emailing giant files back and forth.
Exactly.
Or trying to figure out, like, wait, who has the latest version?
Is this the right one?
Yeah.
Did you get my email?
Exactly. Ugh.
So, yeah, that's got to be a huge time saver.
It really does.
And then, there's the peace of mind that comes with, like, automatic backups,
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
You don't have to worry about losing all your hard work
Losing your work, yeah.
or dealing with corrupted files.
Yeah.
Plus, you've always got the latest software updates without having to, like, manually download and install everything.
Oh, that's so nice.
It just takes care of itself.
So Alunex is taking care of all that technical stuff behind the scenes.
Yeah, just let them handle it.
Letting you focus on, what you do best.
Right.
Designing and creating.
Exactly. And then, if you do happen to hit a snag,
Yeah.
they've got a fantastic support system.
That's good.
Their website is packed with tutorials,
Nice.
documentation, and you can always just reach out to their team directly for help.
That's awesome. It's like having a virtual cutting optimization expert, like right there at your fingertips.
That's a great way to put it. It's clear that they're invested in making sure their users have a positive experience.
Yeah.
They want you to feel confident and capable using their tools.
So we've talked about the 2D optimization, the 1D tools, this like magic of the cloud.
Yeah.
What stands out to you as like the biggest takeaway from all this?
I think for me, it's the fact that Alunex isn't just about, fancy algorithms and all that. Yeah.
It's really about empowering their users,
Yeah.
people like you,
Like us.
to make smarter decisions,
Mm-hmm.
reduce waste, and ultimately save money.
Save that money.
Yeah. And let's not forget about those environmental benefits.
Yeah.
By using materials more efficiently, we're also reducing our impact on the planet.
It's a win-win for everybody involved.
Totally.
Now, I know we've been focusing a lot on, like, that 2D optimization.
Right.
Which is fantastic for those, bigger projects.
Yeah.
But let's circle back to that 1D optimization for a minute.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's easy to think of it as, like, the less glamorous sibling, but
Right.
it's just as powerful in its own way.
Absolutely. Remember, 1D optimization is specifically for those long linear materials.
Got it.
Rods, beams, tubes, pipes, anything that comes in those standard lengths.
Okay.
And while it might seem, straightforward,
Yeah.
getting the most out of those materials,
Yeah.
it can be pretty tricky. Yeah, especially if you're working on a large scale, like a
Right.
construction project where you're dealing with hundreds of beams.
Oh, yeah.
Every inch of waste just adds up.
Totally. And that's where the 1D optimization tool really shines. It takes all those different lengths that you need and figures out the most efficient way to cut them from that stock material.
Oh, wow.
Minimizes waste, saves you a ton of money.
So it's not just about, like, preventing those little offcuts.
Right.
It's about making sure you're using every single inch of those,
Yeah.
expensive materials wisely.
For sure. And it's not just about the financial savings either.
Right.
Think about that environmental impact, right?
Yeah.
Reducing waste means fewer resources are being consumed.
Mm.
Less material is ending up in landfills.
It's all about that sustainability, whether you're, a small business or a large corporation.
For sure.
Alunex is giving everybody the tools to make a difference.
Absolutely. And it's incredibly user-friendly. You simply just input the lengths that you need,
Mm-hmm.
the dimensions of your stock material, and the software does the rest.
Oh, wow.
It calculates those optimal cutting patterns,
Yeah.
generates detailed cutting lists, and it even helps you manage your inventory.
That's amazing.
It's like having like a virtual assistant
Yeah.
for all your cutting needs.
We've covered so much today, from those, those really clever algorithms
Yeah.
to that whole power of cloud-based collaboration.
Uh-huh.
It's clear that Alunex is more than just like a software company.
Yeah, totally.
They're providing a solution to a problem that impacts like so many industries.
For sure. It's about efficiency, sustainability, and ultimately, like you were saying, empowering people
Yeah.
to make smarter decisions about how they're using materials.
And what's really exciting to me is that this kind of technology isn't just limited to those big manufacturing plants.
Right.
Small businesses,
Absolutely.
individual makers, even hobbyists can benefit from using these tools.
Anyone who works with materials,
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it's wood, metal, glass, textiles.
Yeah.
They can use Alunex to reduce waste and save money.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Alunex, I'm curious, what project are you thinking about tackling now? Could you create it or build it more efficiently with the help of cutting optimization?
It really is a question worth, pondering.
Yeah.
What impact could this kind of technology have on your work, your budget, even the environment?
If you're ready to unlock that potential for smarter cutting in your own projects,
Yeah.
head over to alunex.in and see these tools in action.
Yeah, check it out.
You might be surprised at what you can achieve with little help from some, clever algorithms and a commitment to reducing waste.
Until next time, keep those creative juices flowing.
Yeah.
And remember, every inch counts.
Every inch.